but Gabriel Davis went crazy.
Acho, let's go to the D-line. More or less 1.5 sacks for Chris Jones.
I'm going to shock everyone and go less, even though Joe Burrow got sacked 7 times last week. It's not that the Chiefs won't have a lot of sacks. I just think they will be spread out. Chris Jones will have him some. You'll see everyone on that D-line be making plays. Guys like Alex Okafor, guys who even rotate in, will be getting sacks. And so Melvin Ingram will be out after the quarterback. For me, it's not about one player and Chris Jones. It's about the entire defensive line getting after the quarterback.
All right, so let's focus in on that game for a moment here, in the AFC Championship game, and how and where it is going to be won. And Acho, I'll start with you. We asked each of you guys to give us a key, what it is you're watching for most in this matchup, and what will decide it. Acho, go.
For me, it's simple. For me, it's about angles and effort. Those are the two things that are most important. Cincinnati is 4th in the NFL in yards after catch, and here's why. You see this catch right here. You see a bad angle by number 54. He's going to overrun the play. You're going to see two guys, 38, 35. They're not having full effort. Jamar Chase does the rest. He's 2nd in the league in yards after catch. He had 11 catches, 266 yards in their last game in Week 17. Now for the Chiefs. Once again, eyes and angles. Look at Patrick Mahomes' eyes. It freezes the inside linebacker because he looks outside, and this draw is run right up the middle. You can't go downhill. So you got one quarterback with eyes and angles on one side, then defensively you have the other quarterback and the other team. It's all about eyes, angles, and effort when you come to playoff football during this time of the year.
That's good stuff. And again, that video that you saw there was from the matchup these two teams had just a few weeks ago. Ninko, how about you? What's the biggest key?
It's going to be mixing in the running game. And you think about Joe Burrow, he was under pressure, 9 sacks last week for minus 68 yards. They're going to have to run the football, and it's going to come down to Mixon. He's one of the best running backs in the league. If they can run the football, that takes away a little bit of that pin your ears back mentality of just getting after the quarterback. So if they run the football, then you mix in the play action pass, gives your quarterback a few more seconds to evaluate the field and make the best decision possible. So running the football is the biggest key in this matchup, and it's going to come down to Mixon.
Okay, next up is RC. What to you is the biggest key in the AFC Championship game?
Just its way that it played Jamar Chase in game 1. Jamar Chase had a phenomenal rookie season and no game better than what he had against the Kansas City Chiefs. They left him in one-on-one matchups all too often, especially in critical situational football. And so does Steve Spagnuolo understand that he has to shade him more, that he has to bring safeties to his side, he has to double him on 3rd downs? And if he can do some of those things, you have to make T. Higgins beat you. You have to make Uzomah beat you. You want to force them into running the football with Jamar Chase, with the defensive line that's better and that should dominate the offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this game is about stopping the big play. We saw the Buffalo Bills really use Gabriel Davis against the Kansas City Chiefs because they paid attention to Stephon Diggs. Will that be the same way they play Jamar Chase, asking or looking to take him out of the game and make someone else beat them?
Yeah, interesting, particularly if you're looking at some of the props and things like that. How about you, Graz?
I agree with my highly intelligent friend Ryan Clark, and I think that Jamar Chase has to be the focal point of the Chiefs' defensive meetings this week. Steve Spagnuolo has to stress, number 1 is really good, and he crushed us last time. 266 yards, 266 yards. So, yes, T. Higgins can beat you. Tyler Boyd is a threat. Uzomah is a threat. But you have to devote more to Jamar Chase. And the fact that Tyrann Mathieu was back at practice yesterday, out of the concussion protocol, or it looks like he will be out of the concussion protocol. The fact that Charvarius Ward, who didn't finish the game against Buffalo, is back this week in practice. Those are important things because that secondary late against Buffalo was playing backups, and it was very vulnerable.
Yeah, let's underline that point by Tyrann Mathieu, who is the heart and soul of that defense in so many ways. Got kicked in the back of the head early in that game against Buffalo and missed pretty much the entire game. He is expected. Am I clear that he is expected to play?
He was full practice participant yesterday, so obviously tracking toward playing. Concussion protocol, you still need to clear a couple more steps.
Okay, feels important as far as this matchup is concerned. So let's pick it. We will make sure we tell you who we think is going to win both of these games coming up this weekend. AFC Championship. Acho, who wins?
I like the Cincinnati Bengals, and here's why. Even if you try to stop or contain Jamar Chase, they have 3 receivers in the top 30 when it comes to receptions. They're the only other team in the NFL that has that. And oh, by the way, you stop their receivers, they got Joe Mixon at running back, who's second in the NFL in rushing. And so for me, there are too many weapons to defend on this Cincinnati Bengals football team. That's why they won in Week 17 against the Chiefs. That's why they'll win again.
I like it. I'm telling you, it might be the greatest 2-year turnaround in NFL history if that team gets into the Super Bowl, but there's a big game standing in their way. RC, who wins?
I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. With all of the ups and downs of its quarterback, the ups and downs of its defense, this team is right where we thought they'd be at the beginning of the season, and Patrick Mahomes is playing his best football right now in the most important moments. I think he gets his team to the 3rd consecutive Super Bowl.
Graz, who you got?
I have been torn on this greenie. I literally switched it multiple times since the question came in last night. Who are you taking? Every time I pick the Bengals, they win. Every time I pick against the Chiefs win. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I have settled for now, after spending 2 days in Cincinnati among those very excited people, I'm going to take the Bengals.
Taking the Bengals. I never thought I would see that many B's on this screen.
It's crazy.
Ninko, who you got?
I'm with Graz. This one's so hard for me because on both sides of it, I've been picking the Bengals every single week, and I've been picking the Chiefs because I've been with them all year, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs because they're just really good. So
Okay,
I like
enough.
Cincinnati, but I think their offensive line is their biggest issue.
Split down the middle. That's more Cincinnati love than I was expecting. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.